the business of creativity, staying relevant, and building impact that lasts the night that. Oh, we're on. Hi everyone. My name is Oraka from Anambra, Nnewi to be precise, and I'm just a simple creative guy. I just pictured Arthur's face looking at me right now, and he's going to be like, "Why did they form humble?" So yeah, I know Arthur want me to reel out profiles and say that's reel out titles per se, but I'm not going to do it just because of Arthur. I'm going to do it because there are people that sometimes when they're listening to you, they want to know who you are before they even know if they're going to pay you any mind. So for that, I'm going to say, my name is Oraka. I am the MD CEO Soulcata Entertainment. I am the General Manager Echo House Nigeria, and I'm also the MD Fit and Tricks, and that is just a few amongst other titles that I hold and a few other things that I can speak to. But I didn't say all of this just to impress you, because I know you're not even impressed. You don't even know these companies for starters. So I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to tell you that I have a story, and there is a reason why I was invited, to speak to you on the business of creativity, staying relevant, and then building impact. But as it is, I'm going to break it down into three parts. I'm going to first speak to the business of creativity, then I'm going to go into staying relevant, and then building impact. But before I go ahead, I would love to say happy belated birthday to my brother, Mr. Arthur. He's one of the amazing guys that I've met in recent years, and I am super proud of you, my brother, and I'm happy for what you do. You also inspire me. A bit of a secret, guys. Arthur paid my school fees in university. It's something he doesn't like people to know, but you guys are the first to know. Anyway, back at it. So I grew a platform called Soulcata Entertainment right from my university days. I'm talking far back 2009 when I started the company. Before then, I had done several other things. So Arthur wants me to speak and tell that story, to sort of inspire you. But between you and I, that is not a 5-minute story. As a matter of fact, it's going to take a lot of time if I'm going to say to it. But I'm going to maybe touch one or two things about it while I delve into the story or the topic of the business of creativity. Like many of you, I'm a creative, just someone who is super excited to make things work and to bring things to life in my own way. And that is what has defined my story. And I've done several things. And at a point, I had to just focus on one aspect, which was the event management arm of things, which is what I started in 2009. And doing that, it sort of elevated me and attracted a lot of like minds to me. So from being a one-man creative, I saw myself leading a team of young people. I saw myself putting together some of the most influential events that impacted a lot of youths. I saw myself giving a lot of young people platforms that changed their life even till today. I saw myself just being what's the word? A key player in people's lives. And that is what creativity has done for me. So when we're speaking about the business of creativity, we're now saying, yes, you are creative, but at what aspect, at what point do you turn it into a business? I think that's where a lot of creatives struggle. But I'll say to you, it's quite simple. Do as much as you can until you can't do it anymore, right? What am I saying? You're good at photography, you're good at videography, you're good at this. Enjoy what you do. Do as much as you can for free, right? And then I bet you when you're killing it and when you are good at it, people are going to want you, right? And I mean, this is very simple to break down, but just go with me. You're good at this, right? You shoot for me for free. I love it. I'm already thinking the next thing I want to do, I want you to shoot for me. But you're shooting for Arthur also. Arthur loves it. Arthur is thinking the next thing he wants to do, he wants you on it, right? Then I call you, oh, come and shoot for me for free again. And Arthur says, I want you to shoot for me. And you say, oh, I'm shooting for Oraka. And Arthur says, yo, I'm going to pay you because now your work is speaking for you, right? Automatically, it starts morphing into a business. What am I saying? The first and most important thing is value and placing the right value on yourself. I studied estate management, and one of the things they thought of is valuation, right? Where you can estimate. If you want to sell your building, for instance, you need a valuer to come and say, this is the actual worth of this building. It's not your sentimental worth, right? Because you spent a lot of time and attention building that house doesn't make it worth as much as the next house, right? Someone has to be objective in building that. And a lot of times we are not objective in evaluating ourselves and talking about our value. A lot of us are full of self-glory, right? But if you do not tell yourself the truth and if you do not value yourself properly, you will not be able to position yourself properly for business. Yeah. So that's one of the tips I'm going to give to you. I'm not very excited that I'm doing this via video. I would love to be there with you guys to feel your pulse, right? Because take an instance, look at that guy over there. He's not even paying attention. I'm just kidding. I don't even say you guys, but it's always more fun when I'm seeing going around the room, seeing everybody, and I would have loved to make it pretty interactive. Like, let's talk to each other. Let me see what your life experience is, and let me speak to it in line with what I am speaking to, right? So, speaking still on the business of creativity, I would want to focus on how a creative can turn their art into business. And one of the things that I've mentioned is value. You have to know the value that you're bringing to the table, because it is that value that is going to make you sought after. And it's when you are sought after that you're going to, be able to increase in, finances and relationships and the rest of it. So that's one of the aspects that I'm going to speak to. A whole lot I can say, but if I start, trust me, I'm not going to finish. So I'm just going to move straight from the business of creativity into staying relevant. Now, a lot of us know how to start something, but the question is, how relevant can you be? I started a business 2009 called Solkata Entertainment. And one of my proudest statements is that Solkata Entertainment is relevant till date. I know a lot of people that started with me. I know a lot of people that I met in the game. I know a lot of people that came after me. But guess what? A lot of them are non-existent right now. They don't even have the structures to keep the company afloat, right? And a lot of them have just phased in terms of relevance. Maybe for several factors. They do not know how to morph with time. They do not have structures. They do not have goodwill. They do not have excellence. They do not have value, right? So these things that I've mentioned are also some of the things that can help you stay relevant in the game. You have to understand the field you are going into. You have to see where the business is going into. You have to see where the creative space you are is moving into. For instance, we're in the age of AI right now. A lot of people are ignoring AI. The typical example I often give is the times of digital camera and the times of analog cameras. So back in the year, the cameras used to use film, where you open the camera and put the film inside and snap, then you bring it out and wash it, and before you can print it out into a physical picture. And the kings in the game used to be a brand called Kodak. Now, when the advent of digital cameras came, Kodak was offered, to sort of buy into that technology. But because they were already kings in that game, they didn't believe in the digital era. Guess what happens a few years later? Your guess is right. Some of you don't even know what Kodak is. That's how much it is, how bad it is right now, right? So you have to see where the industry is morphing to, and you have to stay ahead. You have to understand and you have to stay ahead. You have to let go of your pride. I mean, it's just like a lot of people in the industry, they getting stuck up with, we're the ones that started this, we're the ones that did this, but where are you today? The new ones that are taking charge, how do you want them to respect you when they don't even see your value and don't see your relevance anymore? But if you can pride in being the starters and also still relevant till date, that is where you actually have some bragging rights. And that's why I feel like I have some bragging right, because my company is still relevant till date. One of the things that can also ensure your relevance is your impact, right? I mean, let's talk about one of the most popular aspects we know, politics. If I ask you who is the most influential or who are the greatest politicians, you are going to speak and mention names of politicians that have made impact. Likewise, business leaders that have made impact. So those are the things that keep you relevant. You don't just say, oh, it's just the money for me and zero impact. You have to make impact. Look at what Arthur is doing right now. He could have just celebrated his birthday, hung out with friends, even flown to different states, gone out of the country and had fun. But what's the primary thing in his head? How can I morph this and make an impact? It is not super convenient for me to make this video right now. As excited as I am to do this and speak to you guys, it's not super, convenient for me. But because of the person that has asked me to do it, I had to make it work. That's also because of his impact in my life. And also, he is focusing on that impact to give to you guys some of this experience. And I'm sure that you've learned a whole lot of things today, because I know I'm not the first nor the second speaker, right? But even if I am, let this be the intro to what you're going to learn, right? And that is me speaking on staying relevant and in the game. And the next thing he is morphing into is building impact, because I know I'm so out of time, and that's why I'm trying to rush this. Building impact that lasts. You see, I posted something on my story some days ago. I said there's a museum in Lagos that is called J Rando. It's a museum of Yoruba culture. I've been seeing a lot of influencers post about that particular location, and I've been craving to go there. And I was opportune to go there, not even for the museum, just to recce for an event that a friend wants to do there. And then he kept saying, oh, he's waiting for the manager, or waiting, we need to see the manager. And then someone comes through and says, hey, Oraka, and we greet. And he says, oh, this is the manager I'm waiting for. Apparently, the manager of the place is my friend. And this is someone I've been able to make also an impact with from back in the year. I'm talking years in the university, right? So when you have an opportunity to do anything great, you have to focus on the impact that you're making. It's unfortunate that we've come up with quotes like, oh, now exposure I go take build house. Is it if it's not money, don't call me, and things like that. But back in the year, it was more about the value. It was more about what I'm putting. And forgive me for even saying back in the year, because I don't believe that's a mentality everybody has. If you guys have that kind of mentality, I'm certain that you're not going to be here. I know there are always the few that believe in impact and value, and I believe that those are the people that I'm speaking to. What I'm going to say to you is that people are not going to encourage you. The country is not going to encourage you. The people you're helping and making an impact on are not going to encourage you. You've got to encourage yourself. But one thing is certain, at the end of it all, in years to come, you're going to smile and say, I am glad I lived a life of impact, right? So what have I said to you all in summary? What I've said is, in terms of the business of creativity, right? Understand your craft. Strive to give value anywhere you are. That is how it is going to automatically morph into a business. Do not struggle so hard to become competition. Oh, this guy that does the same thing charges this amount, so I'm going to charge that amount. No, focus on the value you give, and I promise you the money is going to chase you, right? That's how you morph your creativity into business. And secondly, staying relevant also means that you don't lose track of growth. You have to grow, you have to learn, you have to keep learning. Never stop learning. Never think, oh, I've done this for 5 years, so I know it all, because the world is moving so fast. There's so much more you can learn. That is why I said I wish I was there, because trust me, as much as I'm speaking to you guys, I know that I would have asked 1 or 2 questions that will let me learn from what you guys also know. everybody is growing. So when you have that type of mindset, that's what is going to help you stay relevant, because you're going to literally stay on top of your game. And then the most important thing is to build an impact that lasts. One of the things that I strive on today is the fact that when I look all around, I see so many young people doing great things that have come through me, that I have been able to impact. They have been able to open doors for them. You understand? These are people that they would never forget. Again, don't forget, remember I mentioned that people you're helping will not even, encourage you. There are also some of them that will not even acknowledge some of these things that I've done for them. But guess what? As you're doing it for them, there's someone else looking at you, appreciating you for what you're doing for someone else. So never do anything for anybody and expect anything back for them. Even the Bible says it, right? But those are some of the codes that I live by that helps me, sort of max myself to my full potential. My biggest flex is that whatever greatness is out there, I can say I made a contribution towards it. That is my biggest flex. Whether the person admits it, whether I get my credit from the person or not, it doesn't matter, because the credit always finds a way to come back. That's the most important thing. So I wish you guys the best of luck. I am so wishing I was there, but I know that there will be more opportunities for us to interact. I'm looking forward to learning from you guys, because I know there are also CEOs and great people listening to me right now. Like I started by saying, I'm just a guy, a creative guy, who God has blessed and has favored a lot. And I am grateful to Ato for putting this together. And I hope that I've been able to say something to, even if it's just one or two people, because of course I don't expect everybody to grasp everything. For instance, look at that guy, he's not even paying attention. Yeah, you. I'm just kidding, I don't see you guys, but I actually wish I was there right now. Yeah. Happy belated birthday again, once again, Arthur, and I am so honored to be a part of this, and I'm hoping that the next time it will be in person. Thank you very much, guys.
Especially when it has to do with staffing, it's easier if you're working on a project and then you want a like-minded person to partner with you in this project. But then when you're running maybe a business, or you're trying to grow a business, a brand, and now you're now staffing, it's not very easy to find people who are in it for the passion, they're basically in it just to get the money and onto the next thing, or maybe they just want to I don't know, I don't know if you get it. So now, and the level of delivery cannot be compared to someone who is also passionate about what they're doing. They may be skilled, but if anyone who has run a business would know that sometimes skills cannot be compared to someone who is teachable, especially when what you're doing is not a fixed product, it's a creative. So there are bound to be changes, there are bound to be different ideas coming up at different times. In fact, the level of growth is measured by by you being able to come up with new ideas for doing the same thing, maybe faster. Just there's bound to be changes all the time. So if you're not able to work with people who have the same drive and who are just there just for the money you paid for, the salary you paid them, you find out that it begins to drive you back. So no matter how much you do your own personal development and maybe as much as you can finance the team, you still get this pull. Like it becomes a lot more draining. So I want to know how you manage it as a creative, because your industry is a creative industry. So you would definitely relate this a lot to what I'm talking about. So I want to know how you've been able to navigate through that with staffing, especially when you're dealing with people who you have to pay, not people who are there because they are also into they're also carrying the business with you, or they're there because they have the passion for what they do, but this is because they can be paid to get things done. So I want to know how you handle that.
It starts with leadership, right? It starts with you as a leader. What do you know? How great are you to then know what you're demanding of people, right? There's a staff of mine that used to make a joke. He says, if your organo sabi work, sack 'em. Which means that thing that your boss is asking you to do, to a large extent, they should be able to do it. It also means that if you understand the work and you are able to do the work, then you are not going to get people that will come and mess your work up, because they know that if they don't do it well, that you are going to do it. You would only have people that will mess you up when they know that you are totally at their mercy, right? That's one of the aspects. You have to be an all-rounder yourself as a leader. Secondly, you have to find people that are teachable. A lot of us are also looking for ready-mades, people that have already invested so much in themselves and probably want to move to a bigger platform. We are the ones chasing those people and begging them that, oh no, please come and work for me, right? And when they are not putting their all into it, we complain. But you forget that these people don't necessarily see the value that they are getting from you. They are just in it, like you said, for the money. So you have to also look out for that. You have to find people that are teachable. And you would always run into the right and the wrong people along your journey. It is not unavoidable. It's something that must happen. But what you do is to just, when you find those right ones, you keep them. And then the other ones, you have to find a way to discard them. It's as simple as that. They would always come, especially once you start making some great impact. A lot of people would come, and when people come to me, I always try to identify why they are there. Are they there for the real impact, or are they there because there's some buzz or some fun or some, what people see from the outside? I mean, I did an event in Oka, I think 2 weeks ago. I had some of our friends join us uh, at the event, and when if you follow my story, you think it's all fun and games. But when we were getting back from the venue at 1 a.m. in the morning, and then announcing that at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., we are going back to continue what we're doing. Some people had to look at us like, what exactly is going on here? In fact, someone said something, said, we don't have Lagos energy, please. Right? But that's also to just let you know that the way people look at what you're doing is different from what it is really. But it's notwithstanding, it doesn't mean that they cannot catch up. It's just that it is new to them. So when you find people like that is also new to them, you have to also gauge their willingness. You don't just judge them abruptly by what they've shown you at the moment. You have to understand that, okay, this is new to him. He's struggling to catch up to your level, to catch up to your standard. But this person is also willing to learn. They're also willing to grow. This person is teachable. So you have to be able to identify potential from a mile away. And I think for me, as a matter of fact, I consider it a gift from God. I consider it a gift because I feel like I have a gift of seeing the right people and choosing the right people. I've looked at it in different ways and I've seen that it is divine. There's no formula that I have. But when you come close to me, if my spirit does not accept you, if you lie down on the floor, roll on the floor and say you want to work with me, the max I can do is just, carry you along and keep you as a friend, and might not necessarily bring you into my circle to do my work because my spirit doesn't accept you and I don't believe at that point that you can deliver. Again, I've gone against my spirits a couple of times and it has always come back to say, you know what, you were right in the first place, right? So it's I spoke to my mom about it. She just said, oh, it's not anything, that is spirit of discernment, right? That I have a good spirit of discernment. So these are some of the things you would also have to ask of God. If you hear what I said I'm just a product of God's grace too. At the end of the day, I just consider myself favored enough to be able to meet a lot of people. And also another thing I do is not judge people by what everybody term them as, right? when I met Arthur, I'll use Arthur. Now, it probably will be the first time he's going to hear me say this. Almost everybody around complained about him that he was a difficult person. If I was to just go by that statement, I would have just stayed away from him. But I paid attention to the man and I realized that he was just a misunderstood person. And, when you pursue excellence, people look at you differently, people relate with you differently because they always prefer when you relate with them on their level. Right? But the difference with me is that if I notice that we're not vibrating on the same frequency, I know where I'm just going to put you. I'm not going to discard you, I'm not going to fight you, but I know that, okay, when I'm doing something with this level of seriousness, you're not going to be a part of it. I cannot count on you. I mean, the guys I reached out to when I came to have the events in Oraka, I told them that I reached out to you because of my past experience with you. I didn't reach out to you because, there was something that tied us together, or I've met you before, or I have your number on my phone, or I'm desperate to have people around me. No, I have all the help I need. But because of the value you showed in the past, and because of how you applied yourself in the environments that brought us together, not even necessarily you working with me. If you also remember when I spoke, I said, when you're doing something for someone, it might not be that person that will appreciate you. It might just be the other person looking from the side. A lot of the friends I have now are not people that did anything for me, but people I saw the way they pour themselves into the service that they were doing, which a lot of them, it's the service of Mr. Valentine's who that brought us together. So when I see the way they pour themselves into it, that is what attracts me to them and say, okay, these are the people I want in my circle, right? So these are just some of the things that you can do. First, I've mentioned that you yourself have to know the arts, because if you don't know the arts, you would not even know if your demands are reasonable or not. People that have this kind of problem are graphic artists. Because a lot of people don't know graphics, they just think it is something that you just click one or two things and then the graphics is out. So you see them hollering at the graphic artists, this thing as well, it's been over 1 hour, you've not gotten it, you are this, you're not competent, you're not, but when you understand the art, you understand that there are some graphics you request for that will take shorter time than others. When you have a graphic that has to include pictures, like the artwork that I'm seeing right now, you see that they had to crop around every picture for it to be able to sit into this artwork properly. Is different from when you just take a graphic that you just slap text here and there. So, but if you understand graphics as a person, then you would understand your ask in the first place. You know that, okay, if you're asking someone for an animation, they can't give you an animation in 5 minutes. It will take some time. So you immersing yourself into the arts, you getting your hands dirty and doing the damn work, and not just sitting and calling yourself the boss and throwing around others and calling people incapable or all type of words like a lot of us love to do. A lot of people love to just talk down on other people, right? So that they look good. But can you do the damn work yourself, right? And if you notice that you can, and if you see that you can do the damn work yourself, forgive me for using the word damn, but I always say it like that, like, do the damn work. Don't come here and start screaming about how nobody can do it and how nobody has done it well. But when you do it, then those people you think are acting up, they will sit up because they realize that you probably don't even need them, right? You would love them, you want them, but they cannot leave you stranded. And that's where, leadership also comes in. You have to look at it from that angle so that, you can reduce a lot of this problem that you're having, especially, again, when it now becomes people that you are paying, people on payroll. I know how painful it can be to put someone on a payroll that does not deliver, right? There are other ways to check and also manage it. But the first and primary thing I'll tell you is make sure you know the work yourself. If you know it, you reduce the amount of incapable hands and untrustworthy hands that are going to be around you. And make sure that you check them. If you know the work again, you will check them and make sure the work doesn't suffer when you identify that they are incapable. You can fill in, get the work done, and then treat it as you might seem best after the work is done. But the work itself must not suffer because you don't know about it and you're depending on somebody. That's beautiful. As a matter of fact, that has reminded me of one point that I missed. One point I always say, and even to the leaders that I train, is make sure people enjoy working with you. Trust me, if there are two of us that are leaders and you enjoy working with me, even if I'm offering a lesser salary than the next person who is more harsh, people will rather choose to work with you because they know they are going to be happy, they know they are going to be appreciated, they know they are going to be well taken care of. So I appreciate that point you made. Sometimes when you don't criticize or teach properly, you sort of lose that person's interest in what they are doing. They now start doing it just for the money, which was your fear in the first place. So oftentimes it's even your fear that is manifesting because you believe they are not doing it for the right purpose. You then start, chasing them, treating them in a very harsh manner, criticizing them. Oftentimes, sometimes some leaders do it just to put people down and not, appreciate their value. So they think they're helping them. But no, that's not my leadership style. Mine is to encourage you. Mine is to teach you. Mine is to make sure that you are well taken care of. I'm going to flow with you. We're going to be like friends as long as you know your place. But most important thing is that when we are done with that work, you will be asking me when is the next one because you're going to enjoy it. And if that's not the experience with anybody that has worked with me, then trust me, I feel like I've failed. I make it my mission to for that to be the experience of everyone to a large extent. Thank you.
Any other response? Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Oraka. That was I've learned so much in this from you. Thank you, the speech on impacts and all of those. I wanted to comment on the question you asked about how to maintain working with people that probably did not come to help you. They came to make money from what you're doing, probably because of what you can pay them. They came to work for the money. Of course, when people come to you to submit application letter, you should know that they are not coming originally to help your company. They are coming to make money. It is now up to you to sell purpose to them, to tell them that, see, beyond making money, we can make something out of this. And you also have to know that you're working with human beings. They are not machines. Sometimes being a boss, a leader, might make you to think, okay, you are in charge. and therefore you can do things how you want. It does not work that way. You've got to make them know that they are valued. So it shouldn't be just about what they can do for you. There should be something that you can do for them. And sometimes it's not usually something huge. You can make them feel they are part of what you're doing. Make them feel they are not just here for now. And maybe a time is going to come where they will no longer be here. Maybe when you are able to pay people that are, because they know that you're growing and that you're going to come to a point that you're going to be able to afford professionals. But when you pay attention to training them, when you pay attention to building them, they are going to be seeing themselves in the future with you too. They will have this feeling and understand that, okay, this leader is building me so that I can be part of the future. Because starting out, you're just going to have to employ the people available. But do you know that as you grow, you are going to start looking for people that are competent enough to deliver? So investing in them is one of the ways to keep them. Definitely, you are going to invest in some of them and they will leave you and go. You're going to teach somebody something just to be able to hand over to that person. And the next week, the person will submit later to you that they are going to do something on their own. And you are not going to come to a point of saying, okay, since it's like this, I'm not going to train people again. No, you will keep trusting people. People will betray you. You have to trust them again. And you teach them, they'll leave you. You have to keep on doing the same. But most importantly, you need to focus more on what you can do for them. You need to focus more on impact. When you're with them, let the communication not be about what they can do for you. Let the communication be about what you can do for them. Send messages on their birthdays. Go for the burial of their loved ones. Care about them. Be able to look at somebody and say, you've worked too much. It's not your off day, but go and rest for today. Little things like that makes them feel you care about them, and not just when people know that you care about them beyond what they can do for you. They'll go extra mile for you. But when people know that all you care about is what they can do for you, as much as they can, they'll withdraw from outdoing themselves for you. So I wanted to contribute to that. Thank you so much.
Interesting, a lot of things that's been said, and I pretty much appreciate that. It also shows that the message sinks, right? And I love the first point you mentioned. People coming to you because of money is not a bad thing. It's not left for you to sell them more value than money. I always tell people value goes way beyond money. Money is just one tiny aspect of it. You can make so much money from somebody, but if you kill that relationship, um, then it's gone for life. I mean, I met Arthur, those that heard VCO speak, he said Arthur was working with me and was doing a lot of sides, right? Now, Arthur is focused on his sides and he still has the great relationship to bring a VCO to this platform. That is that's value, right? If it was just about money, trust me, as he stopped working with the boss, that's where that relationship ends. He would not even have the courage to dial his number. So yeah, it is not bad for people to come to you because of money, but it's left for you as a leader to show them that there is much more than money.